if I don't wear my glasses, I have to zoom 200% in the Google Doc. It looks like a baby boomer's phone when they're texting, you know.
I just looked over your computer and that font, I've never seen font so big. You have like 2 lines of text on your computer screen.
Well, it's because if I don't do this, and then I have to wear my glasses, which are annoying to wear the glasses with the headphones. So it's either that or I'm zooming to 200% in the dock.
I totally relate. Look, I can't see distance. I can't read any of those books on that shelf.
I can't.
So
either.
I'm not one to laugh, but that is pretty funny.
I'm good. We're matching.
Yeah, like full on, completely matching. Didn't plan it.
If you're watching this on YouTube, then you could see this. If you're not watching this on YouTube, we're both wearing like tannish sweatshirts and jeans.
Yeah.
Did not plan this.
Same wash of jean.
Same wash of jean.
I have patches and yours are slightly distressed.
Correct. Well, I'm very excited because we have most of our clothes finally arriving from LA.
Oh.
This week. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if people know you moved.
We moved.
At the start of the fall.
At the start of the fall, we moved to New York. Very happy to be here. But because of that, we only brought so much stuff. And so I've really been cycling through all of the sweaters and shirt options I have, like in life, but also for the pod, because I'm like, I don't really want to repeat this soon, you know?
Yeah. No, I totally feel
So I'm very excited to have more sweaters come. So starting probably next week, guys, you'll see some new sweaters.
Damn, you're going to be dressing.
Oh, watch out.
You have already been dressing. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I'm getting to a point where like I have a few sweaters picked out in advance that I can wear on the show that I haven't worn on the show yet.
Right.
But we're like 3 weeks out from a repeat.
3 weeks out from repeat.
At best.
Yeah, don't at us. It is what it is.
You know what? I have a new theory about this, though.
What?
I actually think it's cool to repeat outfits and clothes.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, if you see me wear the same sweater a bunch of times, it's because I love it.
Exactly.
And I'm not buying like Shein sweaters.
Exactly.
To just have a new one for the sake of having a new one.
Don't fall for the fast fashion trap.
No.
Don't do it. Get something you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Invest.
Anyways.
All right.
Should we get into some of the nonsense of the past week?
Yes.
Every time we record, the second after we finish and we publish these episodes, breaking news drops that I'm like, why didn't this happen 3 hours ago?
Literally,
so we can talk about it.
A matter of hours. The
first one being Gisele Bundchën was photographed pregnant with her jiu-jitsu instructor boyfriend on the beach in Costa Rica.
Yep.
She's visibly pregnant, obviously.
Yep.
And I like just the second those photos came out, I was like, are you kidding?
We hadn't even published the episode, but it was like all set and ready to go.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, okay. So, but by the time it gets to the next episode, so much else has happened that we forget that happened. So the Gisele pictures, it's also her kids, Vivian and Benjamin are with them. She's a house in Costa Rica. And I did a little bit of a dive into Hakeem Valente, her boyfriend, the father of this child. His family, the Valente brothers, have a self-defense academy in Miami. Like, he's not just a jiu-jitsu instructor. They are like generation. His father was a self-defense jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh my God.
Like they are connected to like the royal families of jiu-jitsu. I mean,
what?
Look, that's as far as I can tell. Their website has the most confusing Our Story section I have ever seen. It is like pages long and it's not in chronological order and they don't tell you who anyone is. So I'm like, is Pedro Sr. the dad? Like, they don't tell you until like I'm scrolling for 5 minutes.
This is, I feel like, when ChatGPT would come in handy to just put all that information in there and then the prompt be synthesize.
Yeah.
For an about page on a website.
Make it a little shorter.
Just a little bit shorter.
But they're from Rio. They're from Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, wow.
In Brazil. So they're also Brazilian. So they have a lot in common.
Wow. Well, I wonder if their unborn child will also be part of this self-defense legacy and will take over the family business
That is such a great
in
point.
the years to come.
I didn't think of that.
Someone's got to be the heir to the throne.
Yeah, and I don't know if his brothers have kids, because surprisingly, they didn't put that on the About page.
That is shocking. I feel like that would be a detail they would put in there.
You'd think.
Someone who is one of those Wikipedia page editors needs to do the Lord's work and make a page for him and synthesize all that information. Just for me and Charlotte.
Just so that we can go to personal life, early life, career, accolades.
And
controversies.
And then look at all the sources and read every single news story connected to it. Yeah. I thank you for that information.
Anytime.
Did you look at the photos of her pregnant?
Yes.
This woman is thriving in those photos. They're walking on the beach. She, at one point, there's a photo of her standing in the sand with her arms down by her side, looking up at the sun.
Just basking in it.
Basking in the sun. The only thing it reminded me of, which I said this on social media, was it reminds me of the Nicole Kidman divorce photo that maybe wasn't a divorce photo apparently, but I don't think so. When she finalizes her divorce from Tom Cruise, allegedly she's walking in the street and she's photographed by paparazzi, like with her hands in the air, like, yes.
And her face to the sky as well.
Correct. And that is the same energy that Giselle is giving in this photo. Like, I have divorced Tom Cruise. I'm having a baby with my hot jiu-jitsu instructor boyfriend. I'm in Costa Rica, one of my favorite places in the world. I'm basking in the sun and I look great.
My existing children are with me.
Exactly.
We're a happy family. Because people forget. Hakeem Valente taught her kids jiu-jitsu.
Right.
That's how she met him.
Right.
So
yeah,
they're already vetted by her kids.
Correct.
The kids look happy in the photo. She's tan. She's
glowing.
Wearing a great
crocheted.
Yeah.
I'm
never.
Sure very I would look terrible.
Absolutely never.
Oh, I would look terrible.
I don't have. Giselle is one of one.
She's one of one. I could not pull that off.
We do have some. I forgot to say this at the top. We have some breaking news. I think this might be the first time that the Sports Gossip Show ever breaks news.
I think so.
But before we get to that, let's do the Ali Krieger update.
Yeah.
Because we talked about Ali Krieger last week because she's she medium launched.
Yeah.
Her new girlfriend, Scottish soccer player Jen Beattie.
Yep.
Who's a very impressive person. They seem very happy together. Ali Krieger, U.S. women's soccer playing legend, was married to Ashlyn Harris. They have 2 kids together and went through a very messy half public divorce because Ali Krieger hasn't said anything about it, but Ashlyn Harris, her, who's also a U.S. women's soccer player, but was not as good as
correct.
Ali Krieger, feels important to say, is now with Sophia Bush, the actress. It's very messy. Can you tell everybody about what happened last Tuesday?
I would be honored. So Ali Krieger released a very weird, vague statement on her Instagram, which I will get to, but it was a result of some quotes that Ashlyn Harris gave on the Naked Sports podcast.
No way. This was in response to something?
Allegedly. Okay. The timing, the podcast dropped, and then Ali Krieger releases
Naked Sports. What is that?
I don't know. Some sports podcast.
All right.
So let me just give you some of the highlights of what Ashlyn Harris said on this podcast. Harris allegedly once proposed an open marriage with Krieger in an attempt to save their relationship. Harris said, quote, on the podcast, "That was like my last attempt of, if I'm not going to get what I want and we want to keep this together." And then she continued, said, "I didn't know how to tell people that, like, oh, my wife doesn't want to touch me." Okay. She also continued on on the podcast and said, "I constantly wanted more. I constantly wanted the feeling of being loved the same way I loved. I just felt like I wasn't a priority." She said deciding to separate from Krieger was, quote, the hardest thing she's ever done, adding, quote, "I had to take my power back and people were hurt in that process."
Oh, my God.
And then she also continued and said at another point in the podcast, "I wanted someone to love me so bad. I caved every bit of who I was inside to try to be more lovable, to be enough. Just wanted to be enough. I wanted to be able to walk through the door and someone miss me, want me in a way that wasn't so business, that wasn't so on the field. ... I felt like I was living with a stranger." Lot going on there.
Okay.
So Ashlyn Harris says all of this on a podcast. There's a lot more quotes, but those are the highlights.
That is shocking. Okay.
Correct. Right. So I feel like Ashlyn's airing a little bit of their dirty laundry on this podcast that I'm sure Ali Krieger did not want aired.
It is also an extremely one-sided story, and she's making herself the victim.
Correct.
When people had been angry at her because the timeline of her relationship with Sophia Bush seemed like there might have been...
Yeah.
It was murky. It was murky.
It
And
was
so
murky.
she is now saying, like, I was the one who's being treated poorly. I had to take back my power.
Right.
When Ali Krieger has said nothing about this whole thing the whole time.
Correct. Yeah, she's basically said nothing. So then Ali Krieger, kind of out of the blue, but I guess it clearly had been a response to this podcast, posts an Instagram statement. I did like the statement, though. It was not formatted like a Notes app apology, like a screenshot of it. Was formatted like in a Canva template. Like some intern or social media manager made this for her. She said, "I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and support I received this last year. However, amidst the warmth, I've also had to confront a wave of dishonesty and misinformation regarding my marriage and personal life. While I'm not yet prepared to make a formal statement, I feel compelled to address this currently to prevent further distortion of the truth. And then she continued on to say, above all else, my unwavering priority remains the protection and well-being of my children. I promise to share more when my heart feels ready. In this vulnerable time, I humbly ask for privacy and understanding from all involved as I grapple with the profound changes in my personal life.
Oh my God. This is a masterclass. Masterclass. I love this so much.
Same.
She is not refuting she's not getting dragged down into the mud with Ashlyn Harris over details, over anything. But she is also saying enough is enough.
Correct.
This is not true. I am not ready to address it. I don't want to talk about it, but I need to let everyone know I'm aware of what's being said, and it's simply not how I feel.
Correct.
Accurately represents the situation.
Correct. I mean,
brilliant, genius.
Brilliant. Great PR strategy for Ali Krieger and her team. She totally has the upper hand.
Big time.
Ashlyn Harris going on a podcast airing that dirty laundry. Are you kidding? Please.
It is.
There's a way that Ashlyn Harris could have gone on that podcast. And if she wanted to share her side, fine. You don't say all that though. You say some vague statements. It was a tough time. It was really challenging. I learned a lot about myself. I felt like it was in my best interest to move on. You could say that.
There is nothing that makes me trust someone's account less than when they go really hard onto I was the victim, and they give too much detail, and it's a little bit too intimate.
Yeah.
Feels like I shouldn't be knowing this.
Right.
And it immediately makes me think you are either hiding something or you're on the defensive.
Yes.
And if you don't have much to hide or you don't feel like you've done anything wrong,
right,
you don't feel the need to talk. Like, the smartest thing when this happens for famous people is don't say anything.
Right. Say nothing. What are you doing? Ashlyn Harris, I don't know what's going on in your department, but I don't think this was the right move.
I feel like this is her. I feel like they might not be able to control.
She's saying what she wants to say.
Also, she's with someone, Sophia Bush, who penned a personal essay for Glamour about their relationship. So she's probably at home being like, yes, babe, speak your truth.
Yes.
You got to tell them what it was like.
100%.
I think they're egging each other on in sharing too much. And I think that's actually a very bad thing for a relationship.
Yes. Agreed.
So now that we've armchair psychologized, that's just from a PR strategy. I know nothing about this. This is just publicly what it plays out looking like.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure there'll be another update, presumably 10 minutes after we publish this episode. So this story will probably continue.
All right. Well, are you ready for the first sports gossip show breaking news?
I have never been more ready for something in my life.
Look, once a sports journalist, always a sports journalist.
Always.
And Madeline, became obsessed with actor Timothée Chalamet's appearance on ESPN's College Gameday.
Yep. Same.
College Gameday, the premier, most popular probably pregame show for sports, along with Inside the NBA, but maybe even more so because I think more people watch college football. I don't know, whatever. They're both great. So College Gameday always has a celebrity picker where they make their picks for who they think is going to win that weekend's slate of games, or the biggest ones. And these were the conference championships over the weekend. Hey, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Congrats to our biggest UGA fan, Madeline Hill.
I'm shocked we won. Honestly, I'm shocked. I think I'm just a traumatized Georgia fan, and have two games back to back go to overtime. I was like, please don't do this to me again.
It's too much.
Don't do this to me again.
It's too much.
Matthew McConaughey's here. Don't do this to me again.
Oh my God. Georgia
Thank God we won. Go Dogs.
Georgia beat Texas, which was okay. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, they have a celebrity picker, and they sit on this panel alongside Reese Davis, who's the host, Kirk Herbstreit, college football analyst, Desmond Howard, college football analyst, Pat McAfee, and now former Alabama coach Nick Saban has joined this crew.
Right.
And Timothée Chalamet is maybe the last person I expected to be on College Gameday.
He was the last person, was not on my College Gameday bingo card as a guest.
Can you explain Timothée Chalamet's whole deal?
Timothée Chalamet is an actor, award-winning actor, as you know. He's also a New York kid.
Yeah.
He loves New York sports teams. He loves going to the Knicks games. I saw he won a contest, I think, as a kid, winning a clue to, I think, meet a Knicks player in Grand Central. I don't know. I really should have researched this before.
Whatever.
I'm saying this, but he's a big sports fan. But also, he's Timothée Chalamet. He's like Mr. like cool kid. And to see him on College Gameday was just kind of shocking. I was like, but also shocking. And I'll also add not shocking. I mean, he seems to be a sports fan, but I didn't know how big of a sports fan he was. And also him dating Kylie Jenner. I don't know why. I just feel like it just kind of all tracks that he would be on College Gameday.
Yeah, except I feel like the Kardashians and college football are like diametrically opposed, which I think sort of,
yes,
and also Timothée Chalamet. If you're from the Northeast, in my personal experience, you are usually not as big a college football fan as other professional sports.
Right, yeah, no,
because
that's
college
true,
football
yeah.
is not huge in the North. Like, I'm not shocked at all that he's a huge Knicks fan.
Right.
But I am surprised, that college football just is not what it is in the North, that it is in the South and the West and the Midwest.
No.
So Timothée Chalamet gets up there. He's wearing a sweatshirt promoting his movie, the Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown.
Which, getting into that. So that movie, the reason why was he on there?
Yeah.
ESPN, owned by Disney. Disney bought Fox, which I believe is Fox Searchlight. Fox Searchlight made this Bob Dylan movie.
Yep.
It goes all the way to the top always.
It goes all the way to the top.
Timothée Chalamet's in
work.
the Disney family. That's probably just actually the like PR answer of why he was on the
on
the show besides wanting to do it. Anyways,
yeah.
Continue.
And he's wearing that also. Tried to watch that movie last night.
You don't like it?
I didn't love it.
Wait, really?
Did you like it?
No, I haven't seen it, but everyone online is like, "Oh my god, he's so good.
He's
so
good,
but it's not a good movie."
It's like it's like here's a Bob Dylan song, and then here's a news broadcast about what national disaster was happening in 1960, whatever. I don't love a biopic is very hard to do well because you're just watching fake Bob Dylan and fake Joan Baez and fake Johnny Cash.
I don't like him either, but you know who loves him?
Who?
Oscar voters.
Yeah,
Oscar voters love.
Oh, he's gonna win.
100%. Even though I don't think he probably should win. I haven't seen it. So
yeah, he's amazing. He's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
But it is 2.5 hours of a Bob Dylan impression.
Well, I feel like he's going to win the Oscar. My money's on that
right.
now.
Okay.
I haven't even seen the movie.
Anyway, so he shows up wearing the sweatshirt that says A Complete Unknown. And over that, he is wearing a pink and black sort of ski parka that looks like it's North Face circa 2003, but is clearly something else. And it is. It is very cool. It is by the UK designer Martine Rose from that yet-to-drop Spring-Summer 2025 collection.
Oh, okay.
So Timmy goes on College Gameday and gets every single pick right except for one. He picked Texas over Georgia.
He did.
He should know never bet against Madeline Hill.
Never bet against Madeline Hill. However, he bet for his film father, Matthew McConaughey from Interstellar. So.
Yeah. He was like, I can't pick against Matthew. And it's like, fair enough. Fair enough. But everyone was, posting about this on the internet, like, Timothée Chalamet knows ball. This is incredible. He delivered these picks, Madeline, with such confidence. Oh. I went back. I watched this live, and then I went back and watched it on YouTube again. His next role needs to be that of a sports broadcaster.
I would die.
He is so good. He gets up there. He's like, Oregon's defense been unstoppable, not as good as 2023. That like he assumes the confidence and the voice of someone on one of these shows.
No, it was like he had transformed himself into his next method acting role.
Yes.
As someone who loves Timothée Chalamet, I love him. Can't get enough. Watching him do that, I was like, jaw on the floor.
Did you feel proud? Because I felt proud.
I was proud, and I was also like, that's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Timmy, you did it.
You did it.
My next reaction, though, Madeline.
What?
I was like, he's an actor.
Yeah.
He's very good at memorizing lines.
Right.
He's very good at playing a role. Who's to say a producer didn't just give him picks?
Yeah.
Because the one thing he did say, he picked SMU because of his uncle Andy. So that felt personal. I was like, that would be a weird thing to lie about. But everything else, I was sort of like, this is something someone else could have told him to say, and he could have said it and just put on a really great performance. I reached out to someone.
No.
To a source close to the situation. And I asked, were Timothée Chalamet's picks picked by a producer and presented to him? Mm-hmm. And this person said, not picked by a producer, confirmed that they were all Timothée Chalamet's own picks. He was provided very detailed research and opted not to use it.
Stop.
A source close to the situation, very reliable source, I will say.
Oh my God. So our man Timmy knows ball.
So Timmy, it is confirmed, knows ball. Timothée Chalamet made his own picks on College Gameday. I journalisted it. You heard it here first. The Sports Gossip Show, our first breaking news scoop.
This is the best breaking news scoop we could possibly launch with.
Right?
It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm so glad we got that confirmed.
And I was surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Because I expected it to be like, it was picked by a producer, but like, please don't say this.
Right.
And it was like, nope, all Timmy.
Wow.
Timmy knows ball.
He knows ball. And guess what? We need to get him on the
pod. Come on the podcast.
Come on the pod.
Oh my God. A Timothée Chalamet college football podcast.
I would die.
How has no one done that?
Timmy, if you're watching this, please come on the pod. We would love to
Oh
talk
my
to
God.
you.
Ahead of the college football playoffs?
Oh my God. Come on.
Who's it? Someone listening to this knows someone connected to him.
Someone knows someone at Fox Searchlight. Come on. We'll go to a press junket.
Yeah, we'll do whatever.
We'll do whatever's needed.
We'll pay for airline ticket. Also,
by the way, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Someone had messaged us on Instagram. I can't remember your Instagram handle, but if you're listening, they messaged us about being like, oh, when are you guys going to make merch? And I was like, oh, yeah, we're on it. We've been talking about it. But they pitched as one of the options, blank should go on the pod as just like a merch item, which I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I love that.
We need that.
We need it. We need it.
I also feel like I haven't been doing my part. I really want a Sports Gossip Show sweatshirt or t-shirt that says company man.
Yes.
But I haven't been doing, I never say company man on the podcast. It's like not an inside joke.
It's not an inside joke.
It's just that I want a shirt
we can
to wear as a woman that says company man.
We can get them for ourselves.
All right.
I'll have my husband draft that up for us.
if you're listening and you're a fan of the show and you want specific merch,
just DM us.
let us know.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list.
Because if we haven't told you, we're doing this ourselves, which was also suggested as something we could put on a hat or a t-shirt.
Yeah, that was the other suggestion.
Anyway,
wow,
whew,
Charlotte,
I'm like on a high. I was a little nervous. That's the first scoop we've broken.
I feel like if the podcast just ended right here, I'd be like, we've done our job.
Yeah, it's over.
You got a breaking news exclusive scoop. I mean, that is exclusive information.
People, if you aggregate this,
please
credit the Sports Gossip Show, Madeline Hill and Charlotte Wilder.
Correct.
Don't steal. I don't want to
steal it.
I don't want to see a single House of Highlights graphic that just says Timothée Chalamet made his own picks. You better credit us. I know how this business works. I've been around.
That is great information.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we know that.
Thank you. Me
wow.
too. I'm excited. What else do we have, Madeline?
Well, switching gears, Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year for Time Magazine.
Hey, congrats, Caitlin.
Congratulations. Well deserved. Well deserved. She looks great on the cover, if you haven't seen it. Nice black and white photo. And it's shot by Cass Bird. I love Cass Bird.
She is a fashion photographer, has done a bunch of campaigns for celebrities.
Yeah, she's great.
She is one of my favorite fashion photographers. And when I saw these pictures, Madeline, I was like, someone cool took these.
Someone cool took
You know
them.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Caitlin looks amazing. They're stylized in a really cool way.
Yeah.
And it was Cass Bird.
It was Cass Bird. And you know who Cass Bird is engaged to?
Who?
Jenna Lyons.
Stop it.
The former creative director of J. Crew and current star of The Real Housewives of New York City.
Jenna Lyons, who I tried to dress like every day of my life since like 2009.
Did you watch the video of her teaching you how to roll a button down?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I just
like how to roll up the sleeves on a button
my mic
down?
just popped real yes.
Oh, that's like
Legendary.
To this day, that's how I still do my button downs.
She is.
If you haven't seen this video, just look it up. It'll change your life.
If you're someone, J. Crew was a very big part of my life.
Yeah,
for most of it. And when the quality started to go downhill and it started to be bad, and Jenna left and Mickey Drexler left, I was like, I don't know where to buy clothes.
No.
Which I think has actually been good because now I've like branched out and I have other cool clothes. But
that's very Northeastern of you.
J. Crew was like a staple. I was like, where do I get a t-shirt?
You're like, I didn't know there were other stores. That's so Boston of you.
I know. Sorry. It's so New England. It hurts. But anyway, so Cass Bird, who photographed Caitlin Clark, is engaged to Jenna Lyons.
I love it.
Great.
Congrats to them.
Congrats to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Also, a little news item here. A Dallas Cowboys cheerleader named, I have it right here, I swear, Zoe Dale.
Okay.
Her boyfriend was signed by the Bengals to be their kicker, or a kicker, last week. And he gave a press conference saying, my girlfriend, Zoe Dale, just got baptized last week. She's a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. The whole team went with her. Very proud of her. And we're playing the Cowboys on Monday. I was like baptized into the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and it was like, no, just straight up into the church. And there's a reason I'm telling you this.
I'm like waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is like last week when I read that statement. The quote that was like a nothing thing. This is where we're at, but I'm very excited to hear the reveal.
So the reason they show her on the sideline, and he said she already told me she'll be on the sidelines during the second and fourth quarter, the Bengals sideline. And there's a camera on her as he kicks, and as a Bengals player makes a kick against the Cowboys, a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, his girlfriend, is standing there, and on camera she can be seen saying, "Praise God, thank you, Lord," when he makes the kick. So she's rooting for the other team because it's her boyfriend. But she's a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And those codes go hard. And it was on national TV. So Jerry Jones, Charlotte Jones, the whole Jones family who owns the Cowboys, they all saw it. Do we think anything will come of this?
No.
No, it's just a cute story.
I don't think so. I think that would be really mean for them to fire her because she was rooting for the other team.
Because it's her boyfriend.
It's her boyfriend.
And she was only rooting for him.
Yeah.
Not for the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals did win.
Yeah, they did.
So, but no, I don't think you should be fired for that. It's her boyfriend. It's her
Absolutely
boyfriend.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine.
Anyway, a lot of people were talking about that, so figured for the algorithm gods, I'd just get that in the show.
Throw it in for the SEO. Did you see this tennis update?
This is maybe the thing I was excited to break some news, but I'm more excited to talk about this.
Taylor Fritz, the tennis player who is dating the influencer and social media queen Morgan Riddle, apparently regrets bleaching his hair to blonde. He was a brunette and he bleached his hair blonde. We talked about this a few weeks ago. He looked kind of like Draco Malfoy. It was a little weird, but I'm happy that he's admitted that he maybe regrets it a little bit.
Well, there's a video of him and he has brown hair in it, and it seems to be recent. And it's like, I was watching it and I was like, how did his hair grow out so quickly? And it is juxtaposed with a picture of him having blonde hair. And he says that he realized after he dyed it he liked it for the first week, but then it started turning yellow.
Ooh,
but it's also like, do we think he noticed that? Or do we think his girlfriend, Morgan Riddle, was like, babe, we got to get some purple shampoo. Your hair's turning yellow. It's not working. And then the purple shampoo didn't work. And because he said, I ultimately just dyed it back. Because he went to a hairdresser. I think he was in France. And he was like, can you bleach it again? And they were like, no, because it'll fry your hair.
Yeah.
And they were like, we can dye it back to brown. And he was just like, okay. I'm glad he told us all this.
I'm glad he told us. Thank you, Taylor, for maybe admitting you made a mistake. I don't love it. And I think blonde is hard to pull off unless it just like really works with your complexion and personality. And I just don't feel like it fits his personality.
No.
I don't feel like it fits him. He's a brunette.
Yeah.
It's like me when I was a kid. All I wanted was to not have red hair.
Really?
Yeah, of course. What kid?
Well,
I'm sorry.
That's so sad, though.
What kid wants to have red hair? Let's be real. No one.
I don't know.
Exactly. And I was like, I want to have blonde hair. My mom was like, no, you cannot dye your hair. You can't dye it. Thank God.
Thank God.
I would look insane. I'd look like a ghost. I would look insane. I'm very pale. I would be like a translucent
beautiful
ghost.
Red hair.
Thanks, but I would look insane. So thank God. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes blonde just doesn't work with your vibe.
Sometimes blondes don't have more fun.
Exactly.
Redheads sometimes you have more fun. Yeah. Look at us.
Look at us.
Having the time of our lives.
Time of our lives.
So yeah, Taylor. Also, though, if you look closely, it looks like it's dyed brown.
Yeah,
he needs to grow out.
Yeah, he really does.
There's a little brassiness to it, but he looks good. I'm glad he did this.
Me too.
Okay, so speaking of bleached blonde hair,
I love this transition.
Yeah, it's really good, right? Joe Burrow, quarterback for the Bengals, who beat the Dallas Cowboys last night, and they are now 5-8, and I think there's still some way they can make the playoffs. He and Jamar Chase, his wide receiver, have been having an absolutely unbelievable year together, and yet the Bengals are 5-8. Make it make sense.
The math isn't mathing.
Anyway, he wore a wild outfit to the game last night.
He's wearing like a black tracksuit that's striped with different colored stripes. And you know what it reminds me of? Do you
horizontal stripes.
Horizontal stripes, which those are hard to pull off. He pulls it off, but they are difficult to pull off. Anyways, that outfit reminded me of, you remember those candy canes that were like black or dark with colored stripes? What were the flavor? They were like, I feel like they didn't taste like a normal candy cane.
It was like cherry.
Yes. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, that's so good.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I know exactly what you're talking
Someone
about.
also listening will know what I'm talking about.
I hated those candy canes.
Really? I liked them.
Did you?
They were kind of fun. They were something a little different.
Yeah, they were like the bad boys of candy canes. Joe Burrow also, his pants.
Joe Burrow is the bad boys of candy canes.
His pants were flared. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice the flare.
It was tight on the thigh and there was a little flare.
A little kick flare.
Didn't hate it.
Hey, I love a kick flare. My Lululemon leggings.
You do.
I love a kick flare.
You love a kick flare.
I did wear one yesterday, dude. I got this incredible jumpsuit from Athleta.
Yep.
And it is as a little kick flare. Oh, it's so good.
So good. I want one.
You should get one.
I might get one.
I think I'm being bamboozled into purchasing these other pants from this yoga brand that are flared that I saw on TikTok. And I'm like, I've been waiting on them. I'm like, I can't be influenced by TikTok again for another item.
It's hard to resist.
I'm holding out, but they're another little kick flare.
She loves a kick flare, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
have regular leggings too, for the record, but I do love a kick flare. I feel like it works being tall.
It does.
You know?
Absolutely. I should probably have more.
Also, I feel like
But
when I was a
it gives
kid,
me like college PTSD.
it reminds me of just like being like in middle school or high school and like wearing those when everyone else was not wearing them, and I was like, I feel so lame.
No one else was wearing them?
No, I feel like it was like kind of lame.
Oh my God, sorry. I just had a wild flashback to college where I'm wearing, oh my God, this was like my go-to outfit. Like the kick flare leggings, the LL Bean moccasin with the fur lined, this wicked good slippers.
I had the Minnetonka ones.
I also had those.
Yeah.
It was a big slipper moccasin moment.
It was.
And I would wear it with, actually, this is sort of a sick outfit. I might bring this back. I would wear it with like a sweatshirt and a puffy blue, like vintage down vest.
Wait, I kind of love this.
I'm gonna buy all of those items to recreate that.
I think you should. I was almost about to buy a pair of boat shoes.
Girl,
I was about to bring back my Sperry's.
I still have mine.
You still have them? Well, you could. I mean,
They're vintage now.
well, and they're back.
I don't know if I could do it.
Can't do
It might take me back to.
It's too much.
To
It's too much.
you know, you're like late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Actually, that was fun. It's like mid 20s where I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is the worst. Anyway, I don't know. Why are we talking about flare pants?
Oh, we were talking about because Joe Burrow was wearing
Oh,
flare pants.
right. And we're talking about Joe Burrow because he, like Taylor Fritz, bleached his hair at the start of this season. It is now growing out. I think it looks pretty good as it grows out. It's hard to grow out bleached hair.
But he pulls it off.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
He's just got like frosted tips now and it looks kind of
This
cool.
works for him.
The reason I bring up Joe Burrow is because ESPN's Ben Baby, shout out Ben, great guy, reported that Joe Burrow bought a Batmobile. And this was on Hard Knocks at some point, so everyone's aware of this. But it came. I think his Batmobile showed up. It cost him $2.99 million.
What?
For the car that looks like the car that Batman drives in the movies.
Oh my God.
$3 million. Like, I'm worried about Joe Burrow because he bleached his hair and then he bought a Batmobile.
It's not. Yeah.
Is he okay? Can someone check on
Maybe
Joe?
he's going through a little bit of a crisis. Wait, how old is he?
Joe, I believe, is 26.
Oh, well,
28.
No, then I know why.
Why?
He's having a Saturn return.
What is that?
You don't know what a Saturn return is?
No.
Let me pull up the exact definition because
Don't
come for me.
He's having a Saturn return.
It is a celestial event that happens when the planet Saturn returns to the same position in the sky it was when someone was born. This event occurs every 27 to 29 and a half years and lasts for about 2.5 years. Saturn returns are known for being a time of self-reflection, growth, and challenges. They are said to help people take responsibility for their choices, find their life path, and grow into adults. Some say that Saturn returns can be a time of pressure to figure out your life and that you can feel this time is running out. However, others say that Saturn returns can be a time of rebirth and new beginnings. This happens around 20, I think it's 27. 27 is when your Saturn, First Saturn return occurs between the ages of 27 and 30.
Okay.
It's basically like almost like a midlife crisis, but horoscopes.
So I don't want to be dismissive of Saturn or of returns. Are we sure that this isn't just like you're freaking out because you're in your late 20s and you don't know what's going on?
Yeah, correct. That is what it is.
But it's because of Saturn.
It's because of Saturn. Okay. It's returning. It's returning.
Of course.
I don't know a lot about astrology.
I love astrology. I believe it.
Yes.
I don't mean to sound like I don't.
Yes. It's a Saturn. Joe Burrow is having his Saturn return right now. And that makes sense why he would bleach his hair, buy a Batmobile, do some silly little things when he's working out his life in his late 20s.
You know what, Madeline? Sometimes it's just as simple as looking to the stars.
Oh my God.
Dear God. Okay, so something that I thought was the cutest thing to happen this week was that Kate Martin, the WNBA player for the Las Vegas Aces, who is a teammate of Caitlin Clark at Iowa, Kate actually went to the WNBA draft in 2024 to support Caitlin, and she was sitting in the rows, not where the people who are about to get drafted are sitting at their tables. And then suddenly someone came and moved her to the end of a row, and she got drafted. She got drafted 18th by the Aces. She played a little. She was a real locker room gal, I think. She's a great person to have around. And the WNBA, the new team, the Golden State Valkyries, had their expansion draft this week, and that means that I think WNBA teams could protect 6 players, but then the Valkyries could take players from these teams to create a new team. And Kate was selected. So she's leaving Las Vegas. She's going to San Francisco. And her girlfriend, Claire Grancy, whom she's been with since they were at Iowa together, I believe. And Claire is from Boston.
Oh, okay. Shout out Boston.
Yeah, she posts pictures of New England. And I'm like, you're amazing. She posted this amazing video where Kate is being interviewed by Andrea Carter of ESPN about, hey, the Valkyries picked you. How do you feel? And Kate, it's clearly like she's at home on a laptop via Zoom, and she has the wire earbuds in. Claire, Kate's girlfriend, posted this video of she's on the couch, Claire, and Kate is sitting behind her at a table, and she pans the camera to Kate at her laptop with her headphones in, and then pans to the television where you see the image of Kate at her laptop with her headphones in from her laptop's perspective.
It's so good. I wish that happened more often, because there are so many times when you've seen an athlete set up when they're doing one of those talking head interview segments, and I'm like, where are they doing this? I want to see the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
We got the behind the scenes.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Claire. Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And Kate also posted a Last Day in Vegas vlog, which Claire was in, and they're just adorable together.
They're great. I wish them nothing but the best.
Same. Have fun in San Francisco.
Yeah. Hang out with Steph Curry.
If you're going to I'm not going to
sing again, please.
No.
Do it. Do an accent.
No. You want to I'm trying to do a Bob Dylan impression. Hold on. I'm trying to channel Timothée Chalamet. I'm just trying to write folk music that I think people... I understood literally every third word he said.
You got to do subtitles. I'm a subtitle gal.
I am too. But then I got stubborn and I was like, no. Oh. I want to know if I can understand.
I mean, I put 200 point font on my Google Docs. Give me the subtitles.
This is the first time I didn't use subtitles in years.
Wow.
And I didn't because I wanted to see if I could understand him.
No,
I couldn't.
No.
Anyway.
I have to. Anyways, well, congrats to Kate. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Hopefully she does well with the Valkyries. I'm sure she will. I'm at a loss for words with the main thing we need to dig into.
This was another thing that happened right after we recorded our show.
Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about him again this week. Sorry for people who don't like if we talk about Aaron Rodgers as much, but there's just too much nonsense.
But we made it 40 minutes without talking about him.
That's true.
And now
we have to talk about this.
He is the content gift that keeps on giving. Can I start this off by saying Aaron Rodgers, if you haven't listened to this show or if you don't know who he is or if you're just diving in, is the quarterback for the Jets. He is 41 years old. He played most of his career for the Green Bay Packers. I believe he was MVP 3 times. He has won 1 Super Bowl. He is undoubtedly a Hall of Fame quarterback. He has also said some wild things. He lied about being vaccinated during the COVID. You can look him up.
There's a lot going on.
So Aaron Rodgers is now the quarterback of the Jets, and they are horrific.
Yeah.
They're out of the playoffs completely. Everybody has gotten fired except for Aaron Rodgers. And in an appearance on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN last week, Aaron Rodgers said when he retires, he said, you will not hear from me.
What?
He said, you might see me pop up in Tahoe now and again. And to that I say, Aaron, I don't believe you for a single second.
No way.
Because a doc just dropped.
Yeah.
A documentary called Enigma.
Yeah.
Dropping on Netflix.
Yeah.
Covering Aaron Rodgers' rehab, because last season when he signed with the Jets for the first season, he tore his Achilles tendon 4 minutes into the first game. So this was supposed to be like his comeback doc. But instead, it's just him rehabbing to then have the worst season he's ever had.
Yeah, correct. I watched that trailer, jaw on the floor. Once again, Timothée Chalamet had my jaw on the floor. This time my jaw on the floor for other reasons. I think I have an image in my mind of what Aaron Rodgers does off the field and reading the stories. He does ayahuasca. He, does dark retreats. But actually seeing it play out, I'm like, oh, this man, this is who this man is.
Yeah.
This is his brand. Like that. I was like, just seeing it, I think, and not having the visual of like what's actually being said in the news.
Totally.
I was like, this man is nuts.
It's, and he says like he's getting in touch. I mean, I'm sort of speechless.
Yeah. We have to watch it.
We have to watch it. And we have to do a recap.
Yeah, unfortunately.
If you missed our YouTube exclusive, we recap the Chiefs Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Check it out. We'll have to do another one of those for the Rodgers doc.
Yeah, I think it'll give us a lot of insight into who he is and just confirm things we thought about him. I don't like all these documentaries. Are we going to learn new things? Probably not. It's more just going to confirm what I thought in my brain about this man.
That is such a great point.
But I would hope that what he says on the Pat McAfee show is true.
I just don't believe it because if you're someone who lets a documentary film crew in for an entire NFL season.
Yeah, true.
And then you say, you'll never hear from me, I'm going to disappear. It's because the documentary is called Enigma. Yeah, I would argue Aaron Rodgers is not an enigma. Let me look up the definition of enigma.
You're right, he's not.
A person or thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand. I don't think so.
No, he's not difficult to understand.
I think we've got a pretty good read on this guy.
Yeah.
And so if he is in a doc where he gave a film crew complete access to his life, called it Enigma, and then said, you'll never hear from me. It's like he's doing a magic act. He's like, I'm a magician. You'll never hear from me. Watch my doc. He's not going anywhere. We will hear Aaron Rodgers for the rest of our lives.
Correct.
I'll be pleasantly surprised if I'm proved wrong.
Yeah.
Because I also think that it's very cool these days when people are like, see ya, and then actually disappear.
Yeah. Who knows? He's not going to have like a retirement like Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, I love him. He's great. I'm not putting him in the same category as Aaron Rodgers.
No.
But he retired. That's a whole different thing.
He was a quarterback at Stanford, then quarterback for the Colts. Unbelievable player. Retired at 29 because of injuries. He was like, I can't do this football thing anymore. He started the Andrew Luck book club, but mostly just sort of...
He seems great.
Stayed away from the side. He appeared on ESPN a couple times. He is now the GM of Stanford's football team.
And I'm like, that's great. He was laying low, doing what he wanted, living his life, and then is doing something for his alma mater.
You know who's really an enigma?
Who?
Andrew Luck.
Yes.
And you know what? If you're an enigma, you don't have a doc made about yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
Anyway, there's other Aaron Rodgers stuff that we have to talk about, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on with Aaron Rodgers. There's another piece of this story that also dropped around the same time this trailer came out.
Mm-hmm. Shailene Woodley, Aaron Rodgers' ex-girlfriend. I was deeply invested in their relationship. They went to Hawaii with Miles and Kelly Teller. Aaron Rodgers got a tattoo from like her tattoo artist. I mean, it was wild. This started in 2020, and then in February 2021, he referred to Shailene, I forgot about this, as his fiancé.
Yeah.
So in this magazine article for Outside Magazine, she's like Outsider of the Year, they named her.
Like going outside?
Yeah, like camping. Okay. And this writer wrote the most starstruck article I've read in a long time. She goes camping with Shailene Woodley. And Shailene really talks about what it was like after her relationship with Aaron Rodgers ended in 2022.
And what'd she say?
You wanna do the honors?
Well, she said, hinting at they called off their engagement in 2022, February 2022. She says in the interview, she says, I had a really awful traumatic thing happen in early 2022, hinting at, obviously, potentially this having to do with the break off of their engagement. And then she continued on in the articles to say, I felt like I lost my soul, myself, my happiness, my joy. And then continued to say, I really understood depression and anxiety and like complete soul detachment. She then takes a breath. She said that she chose to remain in, quote, a toxic situation because she was empathizing with, quote, someone else. Empathy, she says, kind of kept me in this loop of feeling everything for everyone.
So in this article, she talks about how she cries a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
And she says later in this, there's a line in this article. Earlier in our conversation, she said, I haven't shared much about my relationship with Aaron because the writer says, her eyes well up, back to Shailene, always makes me cry. It was not right, but it was beautiful. Was it a toxic situation? Was it beautiful? Does she think it's all of the above?
Yeah.
She confirmed in 2022 to Jimmy Fallon that they were engaged.
Right.
So this is a broken engagement.
Yeah.
I can imagine it must be awful.
Very challenging. And she even went on in this article to talk about essentially what she was doing to kind of get her out of her depression, and that her best friend, stylist named Chris Zero, she credits with saving her life, and goes on and adds that at one point they volunteered at a horse ranch, and pardon my French, she says, quote, we'd find a random fucking horse ranch and we'd clean up horse shit. We'd clean hooves to say. And brush the horses. And for 20 minutes that day, I thought life could be okay again. And then the depression came back, and she'd wake me up the next morning and go, let's go on a hike and bring trash bags and clean up trash. After about 6 months of this, the depression started to fade. Who knew cleaning up horse poop could help with the depression? But you know what? It is like a physical activity.
Yeah, I get it.
It's probably kind of mindless.
And then cleaning up hiking trails, she feels like she's doing something good for someone else. I feel bad for her. This sounds awful.
It sounds rough. I feel like being with Aaron Rodgers would be very challenging.
Yes.
Not because he's an enigma, but just because he's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of choices that he makes that are interesting.
Yeah.
And questionable.
And she also, they like wouldn't wear deodorant together, I think, or something. Wasn't there a thing about that? Yeah. They had a very strange relationship, and I thought they were great for each other because Shailene Woodley also says stuff where you're like, what?
Yeah. They did kind of seem like a good match.
Like they were both out to lunch in the same way, like spacey.
They were eating at the same restaurant?
They were eating at the same restaurant. They were ordering the same things at the same restaurant.
We could keep this going.
They were working out at the same gym.
They were shopping in the same grocery aisle.
They were in the same book club.
We're saying everything, but they were speaking the same language.
There you go. Oh, that's how the saying goes. She was picking up what he was putting down. Anyway, I don't know, Madeline.
They finish each other's sentences.
Finish each other's sandwiches.
Oh,
isn't that from Frozen?
Yes, I think so.
You know, you have enough friends with kids and you really learn a lot of stuff.
You do.
So, I don't know. Do you have anything profound?
No, I think she clearly seems like she went through it. It is, I mean, celebrities do love to kind of like just talk a lot about their personal lives.
Yeah.
Some do not, as we know. A la Ashlyn Harris does. Not saying Ashlyn Harris and Shailene Woodley are the same person, but they're both talking about their personal lives, like too much information. I'm like, I don't know. If I was famous, I would like be like, I don't want to talk about any of this.
Same.
You know? But it seems like she really went through it.
Seems like she really went through it.
She was going through it.
She was going through it.
Yeah.
And I hope we find out that she's dating a different pro athlete.
100%.
That to me would be the best way that this story would go.
Yeah. Like a good pro athlete.
Sure. Or even a bad one. Like the idea that Shailene Woodley exists in the sports universe is it's always that you never know what you're going to get.
You never know.
From a news story.
No, you don't.
You don't know if she's going to be taking someone to her astrologer to learn about Saturn in return.
You're bringing it full circle, just like Saturn, coming back around.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
We've done amazing work.
Amazing
Madeline.
work here today.
I think that's pretty much all we have on our docket.
Yeah, I think so.
Remember, if you aggregate us, credit the sports gossip.
Credit the Sports Gossip Show for our exclusive breaking news about my man, Timmy.
Timmy knows ball.
He knows ball.
And as always, please rate and review and subscribe. We are on YouTube if you're listening to this through your headphones. We are on Apple Podcast if you're watching this. Yeah. And every subscription helps because
We're doing this ourselves. Okay. Okay, bye.